What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the shop. It's been a while since I've been here. It's been a while since I've even turned a wrench. If you're just now joining me, you're coming into the middle of a multi-part series called Getting Back on Track. And it's where me and my buddy are getting our track cars ready for the 2020 track season. Well, as you know, or may figure out, the 2020 track season has been kind of derailed due to the global pandemic, COVID. I got the notice that the track date of the end of March that we were shooting for was canceled. And when I got that notice, I pretty much just put my tools down and walked out of here. Honestly, really didn't feel like working on the car anymore. Didn't feel like filming. And it wasn't because of you, it was because of that car right there. So if you haven't seen the previous video, be sure to check it out and you'll understand why. But I have a new track date. It's gonna be the end of July into August at VIR. That's Hyperfest weekend. If you don't know what Hyperfest is, be sure to check it out. It's awesome. I'm really stoked about that. So I'll be down at Hyperfest. I hope to see you there. But if we're gonna make that date, we need to kind of get into gear here and put the car back together. So as you saw in the previous video, or maybe you haven't, in the previous video, I got the oil pan back in, and that solves the oil leak. Came back in a week later, and there's a whole new puddle on the floor, and the power steering system decided to just take a dump. Only a BMW can find a way to spring a leak while on jack stands. So I called them rolled up for all new parts, meaning the power steering reservoir, pressure hose, return hose, basically all the consumable parts or flexible parts for the power steering system. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that while I have access to it, and hopefully that will be it. Knock on wood. But before we even get to that, like I said, I literally dropped all the tools and walked out of here. We need to clean this garage up. I mean, there's cobwebs everywhere, it's a mess. Again, thanks for joining me. If you're new to the channel, think about clicking that subscribe button, have a look around. It's a car channel. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm happy you stopped by.
Look at this. Wasn't kidding. I left the drop light. I left the tools. Look at those cobwebs. Look at that new oil or power steering leak. Mess on top of the toolbox. Sad.
Should get a better creeper than a skateboard. Alright, let's go ahead and open this box here from World. Power steering fluid, hoses, gummy bears, important. I'm gonna go ahead and eat those now. The always important stickers, and the reservoir. Alright, so like I mentioned, the BMW somehow started a power steering leak, so before we button everything up, we're gonna go ahead and replace the reservoir, because it's got the filter integrated into it, the suction hose, and the return hose. Because those are around the main things I could tell that were wet or seemed leaking, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of that. There is the reservoir, and when I go to check it, it's pretty much empty. I can't really get the camera in there, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna suction that first, so whatever residual fluids in there, hopefully we'll try and eliminate making a huge mess in my garage. But yeah, that's how we're gonna start this project off, so. Now, the reservoir is nice and empty. Hopefully we won't have a big mess, but we probably still will. Holy crap, that worked. Why aren't I wearing safety glasses? What? This? Having flashbacks to when I did the oil pan. Okay, it doesn't work. So a 3/8 10mm won't work because the socket's too thick. At least my cheapo Craftsman ones are. But a 1/4" one will. FYI. Now would be a good time to... 22, coming back, more leverage. More leverage. An extension. Everything in this car sucks. Alright, so shit gets sketchy. Oh yeah. God damn it. Alright, where's the fucking mess? What's going on? Oh, there it is. There really is no good way to do this. Oh! Alright, so suction hose to pump, detached, check. I don't know why I'm being nice about this. So just cut this bitch off. Right. There. There you go. Reservoir out. So we got the reservoir out, let's take out the rest of the hoses. Okay, so now that we've got the old reservoir assembly out and all the old hoses, let's go ahead and prep this for install. New reservoir. Notice two different sizes, but there's an arrow going out, meaning this flows out to the pump, and an arrow going in, meaning this is the return line in. New parts time. Don't forget to take the old banjo bolt off the old deal and install the new washer on both sides of the banjo. I don't know. This slips over this. This? You can't see, but you'll have to trust that I'm doing it. Forgot my safety glasses again. That's odd. Why doesn't the aftermarket part want to fit? The ground smells like the dentist office. Psych, it's a bad ratchet. Let's now install the reservoir. Let's do that. Let's do that. Alright, so this next part, can't really fit the camera in there, but I'm going to go ahead and install the reservoir, connect the hoses. That sounds really simple. I'm sure it's going to take me like 2 hours because of this car. And, you know, you've seen the previous videos. I just lay there and curse a lot and whatever. So, going to do that. Next scene, it's going to be installed. I'm going to be happy. And, yeah, so see you in a second. So exactly as I predicted, that took a lot longer than it should have. But I got it installed. So let me show what I did here. So there is the new fluid reservoir installed, and below is the new return line fluid cooler. So I think we've hit a stopping point for the evening. Definitely didn't get as much or anywhere near as much as I wanted to get done today, but not bad for getting back into the swing of things. Got the garage clean after leaving it kind of untouched for a couple months. Got the power steering stuff sorted out, so hopefully that will not be leaking anymore. While I was under there, I noticed a lot of things were just hand tight. Looks like I just kind of snug fitted everything. So tomorrow we're going to go over everything and hopefully finally put everything back together and take this thing for a test drive. Yeah, slowly but surely. Track day is now end of July. It's June. Knock on wood, I think we're good. But anyway, see you tomorrow. We're not going to break this into another video. We're just going to... Alright, so it's tomorrow. Actually, it is a month later. It was June a second ago, and now it's July. So it's 2 weeks till track day at VIR, and yeah, we really got to pick up the pace. I'm not even sure why I call these multi-part series day 1 through day 9 or whatever it is at this point. I think I just needed a sequential numbering system. But regardless, finishing up this episode, we are going to be a little bit more organized. So we're going to, let's see, last month, a second ago, I finished installing all the parts that were leaking. So for the remainder of this episode, we're going to be addressing putting the thing back together, the thing being my car, making sure everything is torqued together, and then finally test driving the car, doing a little shakedown here. And it's amazing what one month will do in terms of heat here in Virginia. I think it's like 94 degrees outside, which makes it like 98 degrees here inside the shop. And yeah, 2 weeks till track weekend. And it sounds like a lot of time, but you know, next week is all rain. It's gonna be super humid and gross in here. I still gotta work out the trailer. Next weekend, I'm filming another episode for this channel in Charlottesville. So yeah, it'll come quick. So hopefully we can figure this out, knock this out, and move on with it. So thanks for joining. Oh wait, I don't have to do the intro because again, we already have half the episode filmed. This is so weird. I need to get better at this YouTube thing, but okay, back on the project. The next day, month, whatever. All right, first on the list, steering coupler. Old steering coupler. Looks like I still have the bolts on it, which means the new steering coupler is literally just not even tight on the car. So that's a safety issue. So it looks like 13 millimeter. Let's go ahead and install those bolts and torque that to 14 foot-pounds. If I can even get a torque wrench in there. All right, can confirm, new steering coupler. It does not have any bolts actually affixing it to the car. How many of you guys can relate? You're just sitting here tweaking it 3 degrees at a time. Oh shit. My window's up. Steering coupler now positively attached to the car. We'll cross that out. Check. Rack to subframe. Rack to subframe. Tightening torque on that, 32 foot-pounds. So precise. Saying fix it, Bongbong. We're in a shop, and Mother Nature turns it into a sauna. 32. Well, aren't we just scooting right along? Rack the subframe, check. Next up, it is getting steamy in here. All right, motor mount bolts. Motor mount bolts. What motor mounts do I have? I think I have Condor speed mounts. All right, we got to look that up. I would say tight AF, but knowing my luck, we'd end up breaking a bolt here. Let's look this up. Condor speed motor mount bolt torque Q. All right, maybe we'll look it up in the manual. Let's see, engine. Oh, hey, bud. And look who just joined us in the shop. Okay, so next up, subframe to body bolts. And it looks like we're doing 81 foot-pounds. These are torque to yield. It's interesting you give me a foot-pounds and not a foot-pounds and a degree turn, but whatever. All right, 81 foot-pounds. Subframe bolts. Check. Wait. Yep, subframe. Motor mount bolts. I think I looked that up. That was 33 foot-pounds. Let's take a look. According to Google, approximately 33 foot-pounds. Check. Next up, dipstick tube bolt. Now that sounds simple, but I remember that being a total pain in the butt. Come on, I can't even get my fucking hands in here. Oh, shit. Okay. You know, I think the trick is actually you're supposed to install the dipstick tube with the engine out. I really think that's the case. Because the bracket is attached to the block, or the manifold has to be out. I'm getting real close to zip tying this thing together. Okay, dipstick tube bolt was a pain, but now it's done. Let's see, control arm bolts are next, but before we get to that, I think we can actually pull the engine brace off. Finally, after 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, however long, we can finally pull that brace off, so let's do that. Control arm bolts, according to this, 34 foot-pounds. Doing that. I don't believe it's only 34. That's odd. Check sway bar brackets. Well, I can tell you right now that they're certainly loose. Okie dokie. Power steering and reservoir bolts were loose. I'm glad I checked that. And oil pan drain bolt was also loose. Man. So up next, power steering pump. We're in the home stretch now. So I've got new oil filter, put the air box back in, the alternator cooler, fluids, and then test drive. Now I probably should do a how to oil change in E36. The main thing you want to pay attention to is on your oil filter bolt here, at the very tip, you've got this little O-ring there, and then at the top a washer there. And with every new oil filter, you get a new top housing gasket, a new O-ring, and then a new washer. So be sure to replace those things. Oh boy, we're getting close. So it is fluids time. Kind of scared to look under the car to see if there's any leaks. Power steering pump, check. Serpentine belt, check. Filter housing, that's sort together. Installed the air box, did the alternator cooler, and just did the fluids. So you know what that means, right? Test drive time. What's up, man? It's the battery?
Yes, sir.
Cool, appreciate it.
Plan on paying for that?
Yeah, I got you later, man. Thanks. Where are we? Let's see. Oh, let's do this. Okay, so test drive, check. Half celebration because one, that was a ton of fun. Stoked the car works-ish. I've uncovered a new problem. Check this out. Unfortunately, we've got a new leak there. Good news is it's only the dipstick O-rings, so we'll go ahead and order new dipstick O-rings, and hopefully that takes care of that. And hopefully that's the only leak. And a much better shot of where the oil is leaking from. Actually, it looks like the O-rings backed itself out. I wonder if I could just press it back in there. Actually, no. What am I talking about? I'm just gonna go ahead and get a new O-ring. Okay, all in all, not a big deal. So, good news, car's back together. The original leaks are fixed. Power steering's good. I haven't looked too hard. I'm kind of afraid to. But let's celebrate the small wins. Car's back together. For the most part, as long as we fix this leak, we should be ready for the track weekend in 2 weeks. That was a ton of fun. I can't believe I drove it. That was cool. I know you're thinking, Josh, that was a really simple fix. You've done much crazier things on this channel, but this car hasn't run in such a long time, so I'm just excited to have it out of my garage. So, cheers to that. It's hot, and yeah, I think that wraps up this episode. So, yeah, if you haven't yet, please like, share, and subscribe. And next episode, we're going to go ahead and do track day prep. The next time I see you, we'll be at VIR. Thanks for watching. See you next time.